the existence and destruction, there is a seeming stability, Vishnu. So you name those things, so that means your presence, the understanding of the presence of Ishvara is what? Not just, yeah, it's everywhere, it's not vague. The minute you name it, it is what? Concrete.
Yes.
You begin to see its presence. It's innate. I have I met in Bali this little girl who goes to school. And then, in that she goes to some school which follows some new method of learning. And at a very young age, she's 3 years old, and her mom was telling me that they are told to name their emotions. All of us have somehow, from the childhood, we are told to, good girls and good boys don't cry, they don't have fear, they don't have anger. So the only way we have dealt with our emotions is what? Suppress them. We have not we have never even vocalized. Now the suppressed emotions, and at some point, a child is not able to process all the emotions. So that suppressing mechanism for a child is a healthy mechanism. So this is what in psychology they call unconscious. It pushes it aside so that it is able to deal with the world. Otherwise, for a child it is too much. But as an adult, what you are supposed to do is what? Look into those emotions which are all latent in you. If you don't do it, then what happens? All these the suppressed emotions begin to rule your life, and you are helpless when they come out. You are unable to live in the world because the strength of that emotion, it tells you stories which are not true. But you are totally convinced about that story. So that's why, because you are convinced about it, you don't want to change it. So therefore, this is something at a young age, what you need to name your emotions, and you have to identify emotions. That is a huge service. So the child says, Mama, today I am angry. So Mama then says, oh, why? Why? What makes you angry? Then there is a conversation around it. Lovely. So that means the naming is not just naming. It does something what? Very significant. It makes you alive, in touch with realities. Naming Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva is not just naming, it makes you alive to the presence of that intelligence right now. It doesn't remain some kind of a vague concept. Oh, then there is some intelligence. Hey, right now it is at work. Right now, every second, it is manifesting things. Exactly. Different aspects of the same intelligence. Intelligence seen from so many different ways. Multifaceted intelligence. So this is what Vyakta and Avyakta. One of the patterns in the universe is what? Manifestation and non-manifestation. Now, the presence of intelligence, there is one problem where people say, but how can you say that intelligence is pervading everything? Show me, where is intelligence in this table? You think that the intelligence is only in what? Living beings. People who are able to talk, they are able to act, the intelligence is only there. So then to say, and this is exactly why the Britishers made fun of Indians. The Indians are funny. They are relating to sun, which is what? Bunch of hydrogen atoms, as some devata. They are worshipping that water. Water is what? 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. They are mad. and we bought that whole story from them. We lost connection with the world as divinity. We related to the world with divinity. These are all insentient. Sun is inert. Inert because why? It doesn't say now today I want a Sunday holiday because I'm tired of giving oxygen and I'm giving oxygen and I'm giving hydrogen atoms and burning to helium and I'm giving all this energy and people are not even looking at me. I don't care. Doesn't say that. So therefore, it is what we call insentient. Insentient means it's not able to talk, right? At the same time, so that means it seems like just mechanical in nature to us. What we call nature or mechanical to us. Then we need a shift. You need to make those shifts. Only then you are alive to the realities. There is an intelligence, what this sun is, the amount of intelligence it exhibits is mind-boggling. The placement of the sun with reference to the earth makes what? The earth, the
life
possible on earth. If the sun was a little further, earth will what? Freeze. If it was little closer, then it will burn. While everything is moving, the distance remains constant. But not only it makes you alive, the food that you eat, where does it come from? From the plants. Where do plants get their energy from? From the sun. So different plants, you ask any nutritionist, how many different nutrients you need, tell me, in this body? N number. So you need all the vitamins, you need minerals, you need proteins, you need everything, right? Now all these plants are all sitting there and they are all deriving energy from the sun, but they are producing what? Different nutrients. Carrot is taking same energy, they are producing different. One is carrot is vitamin A, orange is vitamin C. What a design. One source, multiple what? Nutrients. Now, the plants themselves survive, not only they are able to take the nutrients, but they are able to survive because of water. Where does water come from? I used to live a few months ago. I was living on a beach, so on the sea, Jew beach. And there was one point, it was a small building, and on the 4th floor, some new family came to stay. And that family had some 7 or 8 members. So the whole water situation was like, the existing water was totally, consumed. There was a lot more consumption. So that means there was a water shortage. So for a few days, by 10 o'clock, there was no water. Then I was looking and I was saying that we are living right in front of this sea.
But there's no water.
And there's ample water, but we are struggling to what? Have potable water. So that means with all our technology, we still haven't figured out what? How to convert the sea water into potable water. Haven't figured out. The technology is too expensive. So therefore, what? But there is in the universe there is a mechanism. In the world there is a mechanism to convert sea water into potable water. How?
Clouds.
Through the clouds. The sun evaporates the ocean water and then forms the clouds, and at the right time they fall as the rain. It is an amazing work of intelligence. If anybody doesn't see the presence of that intelligence, he is just blocked. So therefore, that sun is, the whole of sun is what manifestation of that intelligence, which does that given function. And this is why we Indians, we had relationship to that sun which is inert. But we saw it as what? Manifestation of intelligence, divinity. So that means to conclude that in inert things there is no what? Intelligence is another, it's a very short-sighted kind of understanding of the world. Then recently Surya showed a very amazing video about this scientist from Taiwan. He was talking about two things. It was very interesting. The first thing was the hemoglobin that we have in our body. So he says, where does this hemoglobin come from? Hemoglobin, which plays such an important part in our body.
Iron.
The iron. Iron.
Both
So
carrier of oxygen and also air.
Iron. So where it comes from is some activities of the star that took place billions of years ago. So that means we are carrying within us some elements of the star. It is all part of this is scientific. And this is the interconnection, and this is the work of intelligence. Then it was talking about what is this cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria.
We'll show you the video.
He will show you the video at night. It is very nice. So this cyanobacteria, but I'll just tell you because it's my practice. These cyanobacteria, so they existed when there was a unicellular organism in the universe. And the cyanobacteria existed only for 20 days. 20 days or some 20 years, or I don't know, a short time. A short time.
Very long time.
A long time.
2 billion years.
No, but each one had an existence. Each one had an existence, only a limited existence. And what they did is that during their presence on this earth, they did the thing of photosynthesis. So what they did is they absorbed carbon dioxide and they gave out oxygen. This is what the functions of the tree. The tree does that. And each one did that. So that means what? They took carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and they gave oxygen in the atmosphere. As a result of 20 what?
Billion years.
1.5 to 2 billion years.
1.5 to 2 billion years, as a result of this work, ozone layer was formed. And because of the presence of ozone layer, we all survive on this earth. He will show you the videos, they are brilliant videos. So that means our presence here is connected to the cyanobacteria that existed billions of years ago.
3.5 billion years.
3.5 billion. This is mind-boggling. So that means the ozone layer is also an act of intelligence.
So we have spoiled it now completely.
Exactly. And the minute we start tampering with it, there is a hole in ozone layer. So that means what happens is everything that is here is work of intelligence. So that means one has to correct the vision. We think that intelligence is only in living beings. In non-living beings, it's all just inert. It is not inert. It is also manifestation of intelligence. So this is what it says. The intelligence, which is what are the characteristics of this intelligence from which the universe comes? One, it is maker and the material of the universe. Being the material of the universe, it is all pervasive. It is manifesting the universe in a way that there is what the constant, manifest and unmanifest. And there is a pattern there. And within that manifest and unmanifest, there is what? Stability. Work of intelligence. And it manifests as both what? Inert and living beings. So that means this is nature of Ishvara. Ishvara from which everything comes, and Ishvara is what? Time. Ishvara is space. Ishvara is all the objects which exist within time and space. So that means the Vedic vision of Ishvara, and for each of this we had names. We look upon time as divinity, there is a space as divinity. If you go to in South India, there is Chidambaram temple. Chidambaram temple, in that we worship Ishvara in form of space. Space is not inert, space is manifestation of Ishvara, the intelligence.
The literal translation of Ishvara would be God.
So, see, that's the problem. When the minute I say God, as I said, you come to a believer position, and that believer position is some God who's sitting out there. So, that's why I don't use the word God. What I say is the cause of the universe. The cause of the universe, but the Vedic vision of the cause of the universe is different from the theological meaning of God. This is what I am trying to demonstrate.
It is Ish and Bharat Pratyaya.
Yeah.
That is the literal meaning.
Yeah.
So we take Ishvara as the cause of the universe.
Yes.
So every time it's manifesting, unmanifesting.
Exactly.
So Ishvara is part of every manifest, or it makes the laws whereby manifest, unmanifest.
Okay. So Ishvara is the intelligence. So in Vedic, so Surya, you know that
Ish, like Isha. Ish means that which governs, that binds together. It's a verbal root. Ish. Okay. That which governs, that which makes possible, that which brings, unifies together. And this brings you the idea of all this intelligence which is making and connecting everything together. In the verbal root in Ishvara name, there is Ish, which is the activity of the verb. And then Vara is the one who has Ish, the capacity to do Ish. Okay? So this is why you say Ishvara.
Yeah, that's how the name has arrived.
This is how the derivation in the linguistic, the verbal root meaning plus the suffix which is added to it. This is the reply to your question.
see, this is why we define Ishvara as Sarvajnaha Sarvashaktiman. Sarvajnaha means it is all knowledge from which time comes, space comes, every object is put together, and its placement and the laws which govern the interactions, it includes everything. The intelligence means it is multifold intelligence. Yeah?
Is it right to say that Ishvara has different names in different religions? It could be Allah in a Muslim religion, maybe some other name in different religion.
See, this is what I say, that when we talk about religion, the religious standpoint, it depends upon what that religious standpoint is. Because if you ask any other, person, most of them will not have the understanding of Ishvara as something which pervades everything. They will call it blasphemy. So that means that what? In a donkey there is Ishvara, they will slap you.
So Ishvara is a part of every object.
Exactly.
So Ishvara is here also.
Yes, everything.
Everything.
So that means our Ishvara means it is, see, when you equate it to the religious God, there are so many misconceptions in what we understand as God. So one has to shift from there to the Vedic vision of Ishvara. This is why it is defined that which is manifest and unmanifest. Means every object, the law, the intelligence which makes every object what it is, makes that object stay for a length of time, makes that object connected to every other object through series of laws. The entire thing is Ishvara.
Does this not become abstract in a way?
No, your presence here, did you decide that I want to be born in 2000, 19,000, whatever? No. So there is some intelligence which brought about this body. There is an intelligence which is governing. What is abstract about it? Tell me. Are you telling that once the food is eaten, are you telling, okay, now you have spent enough time here and now you go to that little stomach there, now you go to kidney, now you go, you don't even know. There is an intelligence which is carrying on this function for you. It's not abstract, it is so real. We are not used to, we only think that whatever we see is real, everything else is abstract.
So we can say that as a human being we have lots of limitations. We understand only what we perceive. Like our eyes, whatever we have, there's a lot of limitations. And there is something beyond what we perceive exists, and that is Ishvara, because that is intelligence. We make it very clearly there is intelligence everywhere. But we can't perceive. So we have to
So you can't perceive it. No, please understand. You can't perceive it as an object because it's not a given object.
Yes.
It is everything.
Yes.
This is why you're using the teaching to understand what the nature of Ishvara is. You are not saying it's a belief. We are not saying it. Because you are understanding that any object that exists follows a certain order. It follows physiological order, it follows physical order, biological order, it follows. So the Ishvara is what? Not only the orders, but it is also the manifestation and also that which governs what? The capacity or the attributes of that manifestation. That is, we are defining Ishvara here so that you understand Ishvara. Because otherwise, with your normal senses, you are not able to understand Ishvara. That's why we are using Upanishad to understand Ishvara.
So when we say in Hindu religion there are many gods, they are all a manifestation of one Ishvara?
Excellent. They are all manifestation. That's why Surya becomes Devata for us. It is a manifestation of that intelligence. Absolutely.
People laugh when we have so many gods, all scientists. But then they themselves, when they make like different type of plastics, they will, with every grid they have hundreds of names.
Yeah.
With so many, we ourselves give so many names, that's all fine. But when with Ishvara we give different names, they laugh. I don't understand. Because there are so many things happening in the world, and with every cause we are trying to attach one Ishvara. And we are giving different names, so it's easier for human beings to understand. That's what
exactly. And in fact, you know what? The intelligence that is there in the universe, when you see it from the standpoint of the physical laws, you call it physics. And the same intelligence you see from the standpoint of how the plant kingdom works, you call it what? Botany. How the physical body works, you call it physiology.
They are also name of God.
These are all, exactly, for us, these are all manifestation of Ishvara. They all come within Ishvara. We are also giving different names, seeing the same intelligence from many, many different perspectives. How the mind works, we give it the name psychology. All insight into one entity, the intelligence. So,
and this intelligence has existed for billions of years.
yeah, in fact it is the very cause of time and space. So that means it is anadi. It is not existing within time and space. It is the truth of time and space, from which the time and space came.
That is we call Sat Chit Ananda.
Yes.
Sat means beyond time. Chit means all knowledge. And Anand means all time bliss.
So I'm not
Okay,
saying that. But right now we are talking about the presence of Ishvara. So that means Ishvara as, don't think about space as inert. This is the orientation that we have which makes us think that the world is mechanical. The time is manifestation of that intelligence. The space is manifestation of that intelligence. And this is why we have temples in Chidambaram. The Ishvara is worshipped as space. How do you depict space as Ishvara? So what they have is, they have no form. There is a garland which is hanging. There is no form attached. So that is depiction of space. Space is formless. Then you have, there is Vayu as Ishvara. That is which temple in south? All of them are in south. Air as Ishvara. Then Agni in Tiruvannamalai. Then there is Kalahasti. Kalahasti is,
It's in Andhra Pradesh.
I know, but it is also one of the elements. And earth as Ishvara is also somewhere in Trichy. So that means the 5 elements themselves, which we otherwise think are inert, just dead. Here we see what? Manifestation of intelligence. So that means our understanding of Ishvara cannot be limited to one entity somewhere. It means it is what? It is time, it is space, it is every object which comes into manifestation and non-manifestation, and inert and living beings. All that is here is Ishvara. So that means that everything came from Ishvara and everything is Ishvara.
Our problem is we cannot objectify, so we are not ready to accept.
Exactly.
So easily. Otherwise, there would be no religion and everyone would have accepted.
You can actually, your logic is faulty. See, the minute you say we cannot see, it means if you saw it, it will become only one object which is within time and space. Then it cannot be Ishvara. Anything, in fact, you have to challenge. This is what I am saying. You have to challenge your thinking. Because our orientations are all wrong. If you were to see it, it will not be Ishvara. That is reality.
It's a form.
Because then it will become only that form and not every other form. And then it will become what? Something which exists in time and space.
A limited form entity.
Exactly. It will become limited form entity. Then you can't call it Ishvara. See, the whole thinking has to undergo a revolution. And you have to use logic. It's not a belief. If it is belief, then Vedanta will be very, just like any other thing. It is not a belief. It is making you see realities in a way that you have never seen, because the data that we have used to understand reality are what? Perception and inference, which can't give this knowledge. That's why you need Vedanta, to understand, but it's not belief. It's making you see things which are otherwise not capable of being seen with your perception and inference.
So that's why when we say everything comes from Ishvara, you really have to add that all that is here is Ishvara. Otherwise you think
Exactly.
it comes from
Yes.
Ishvara,
Yes.
and then again
Yes.
one might
Exactly.
think
Yes.
Ishvara is separate. So this might lead to a misunderstanding.
But that's what I said. It is the material cause means all that is here is that, and the thing which manifests and unmanifests. So that means all that is here is Ishvara. There is nothing else. That's why there is vision of oneness. There is nothing else other than Ishvara. There is no second thing in this universe.
Yeah, see, last time what we defined, we said Brahman, consciousness, Ishvara are the same.
No, all that, see, we haven't yet seen.
No,
Just
last time did we discuss that?
Yeah, but we haven't yet come to Brahman and all that. We'll see that. Right now, see, understand everything properly. Use. See, Vedanta is extremely systematic. All the knowledge that we have, which is half-baked, if you bring in, then what will happen? Everything will become confused. Use the logic that I am giving you, follow step by step. And all these questions that you have, this Brahman consciousness, very good. You keep it aside and everything will be unfolded. It will be unfolded. But right now, we are not talking, I haven't yet talked about Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. I have not yet talked about Satchidananda Atma. I have not talked about anything. You are only bringing, I don't know, something. Right now, I am talking about where, the question is, where does this universe come from? And the answer to that question is, it comes from Ishvara, and as Gabby says, it not only comes from Ishvara, it is Ishvara. This is what Upanishads are saying. This is different from every other religion. So this is why our teacher used to say, we are not saying there is one God, we are saying there is only God. There is nothing else in the universe. There is nothing else other than Ishvara. And it is not a belief. It is not a belief. I am making you see that reality, which otherwise cannot be seen using your eyes and what? Perception and inference. What logic, that's what I am asking you, what logic do you have to contradict what Upanishads say? Show me a logic. It's not a belief. It's making you see things which cannot be contradicted. That's why there is a strength. Otherwise, it's just a belief system. Belief system means it's very shaky.
So when I say belief system, I mean, see, like dog can see only black and white. Dog cannot see colors. So in front of dog, if you talk of colors, the dog will not understand, because dog has that limitation. But we know color exists because we can identify colors. So similarly, to understand Ishvara, we do not have perception, we do not have sense organs. So we understand there is something, there is some intelligence, and we believe is, of course there is an intelligence. So that is what we name as the Ishvara. That's what I'm saying.
So see, that intelligence is what we call, it is Sarvajnaha Sarvashaktiman. It has power to manifest, and it is what every different objects. It is also from itself comes time, from itself comes space, and from itself comes all the different objects, and the objects are what, the way they are arranged, they are what manifest, unmanifest. It's not like some higher authority. Use the definition. We are showing you what it includes. It includes what, that manifest, unmanifest, sentient, insentient. Don't say it's some higher authority, because all this is defined. I have just defined it.
And they are the laws which are he is making, which are operating everywhere.
Exactly. So that means Ishvara is the laws, it is the objects, it is the objects which are what, sentient and insentient. They are also, every object comes into manifestation and unmanifestation. So the changing of objects is also what, part of this Ishvara's design. So that means your understanding of Ishvara has to undergo change. Otherwise it's always vague. always some entity, always some higher power. Nothing is defined. Here we are defining it, what all it includes. So use this knowledge to shift to a different understanding. Otherwise what happens? We keep thinking, there is some higher power, but we are showing what is the nature of this intelligence. So use it and now change to a different position of what is Ishvara. Is it clear?
Yes.
Or not?
Clear. Only then, once understood how to shift, that's important.
Yeah.
That, because every moment how we are living,
Yes.
and how we can get a shift, understanding this,
Yes.
that's then would be the next question.
Yeah. So that shifting, there are so many different aspects that we will see and we need to shift. So that means, how to shift means, next time you see the water, you don't just treat it as, this is some water.
Yeah.
Look upon it
Exactly.
with reverence, manifestation of Ishvara. Have gratitude.
Yes.
That is a shifting.
Yeah. The gratitude.
Next time you see the sun,
Yes.
don't take it as just a glow. You look upon it as a blessing. That is a shifting.
Yeah.
Next time you see the earth, the earth, the tree. You see how this is. It's a live culture. Here there was a tree. I don't know if it is still there. And people go around the tree and they ride, they tie some things. It is all a change of perception.
Yes. Like my wife gets up in the morning, 5 minutes she keeps doing this. I said, what are you doing? He sings because of the earth that we all are here.
You see, exactly. So that means you need to live this vision. Otherwise, it's just a classroom. You continue to be as oblivious to everything. You just come and you listen here. But there is no shift. You need shifts. Only then that intelligence will bless you with this knowledge when your ignorance will go. Otherwise, it will not go.
Because 6 months I'm understanding, but I'm not getting a shift.
Yeah.
So it's just like you are reading newspaper and you read the news, that's it.
Exactly. That is exactly what I'm saying. So that means the minute you understand something better, your relationship with things have to change. Then you will be ready for the next level of understanding. Until then, Ishvara will keep you within the same paradigm. You will not shift. So this is why you were saying, that it's not like ignorance goes and then you have to practice. In order for the ignorance to go, you need so many shifts, so many small shifts, without which the bigger ignorance will not go.
Otherwise that it will not get unfolded.
It will not get unfolded, exactly. Okay? So that is how it is. It's clear, Satish?
Absolutely.
It's clear.
No, it's quite mind-boggling.
It's quite-
So if you look at the universe, right? I'm not talking about the universe
Yes,
yet.
yes,
I'm
yes.
talking about all these
Yes.
planets and all that.
Yes.
This is a billions of planets, a billions of suns,
Yes,
right? And you are saying there's an intelligence behind that.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's infinite.
It's infinite, exactly. It is infinite.
And there's an intelligence behind it.
There is an intelligence. And that intelligence itself makes the planet what it is.
Yeah.
Because from atoms it makes those planets and makes that position,
Yeah, there are millions of
gives that
planets.
function,
Yeah.
exactly.
There are millions of suns.
Absolutely.
Millions of galaxies.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so now we'll stop. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti